Hi everyone, in this video we're gonna look at how I destroyed Nemsko in Bullet and then in also one Blitz game. So here I was black. We played she played the Ruy Lopez, I played the Berlin with knight f6. d3 is what's called the anti-Berlin, so we just developed the pieces, brought the bishop back, castle, queen comes out, and just making some like useful moves because nothing much is going on. So she offered a bishop trade, and if I take the bishop, she's gonna take with the knight, so I don't really want that. Instead, I brought my knight back and then just maneuvered my knight, so we traded, and then now the f4 square is what I want to bring my knight into. So knight h5 and then f4 is one of my plans. So I played d5, which is not the most accurate move. So preparatory moves, she played f3, and now this diagonal is open. So if I can bring my queen to h4 and give a check, that would be really good. So I move my knight to h5. So I can bring my queen here, I can bring my knight to g3 to do a fork, or I can bring my knight to f4 just to attack the queen. So she stopped knight g3, so I played knight f4. She moved the queen away, so here I can take this free pawn, but I don't really want to do that because my knight is really good on f4. So I traded the pawns first, and then she took with the knight, which means that I can win this free pawn because my queen is also attacking. So knight captures, check. She went to f1. I brought the knight back because if I don't, then her rook is going to come here, and this is going to be a really strong pin. I might even lose the knight. So I brought the knight back to f4. Very nice outpost square. She offered a queen trade. Of course, when you're attacking, you don't really want to trade the queen, so I played queen h4. Another queen trade offered by Nemsko. I took the pawn with check, and here she resigned because if she runs away, then there is knight to d3, doing a fork and winning the queen. And if she blocks with the rook, then simply if I just trade everything and then bring my rook to d8 to control this open file, rook versus knight, and I'm up 2 pawns. This is a winning endgame. The next game, I was again black, and we played the same opening, the Ruy Lopez, the Berlin defense, exactly the same thing. But this time I took the bishop, she took it with the pawn, and I kicked her bishop away. She played bishop a4, I attacked her again, bishop c2, and then again a knight maneuver. So she's attacking from the center. I fully put my knight to g6, and then attack the center with c5, queen e2, rook e8, and then she blocked the center. So here I play queen b6 just to develop my queen. Play c4 to get this square for maybe my knight. I can retreat my knight to c5, or somehow I can pressure this pawn in the future. So she played g4, which makes sense because when the kings are castled opposite, she's going to attack from this way, and I'm going to attack from the queen side. So bishop d7, she goes g5, knight h5, queen g2, and now she forgot that this pawn was unprotected. I also forgot it. I didn't take the pawn. I should have. Rook protects, and then b4. This also gives me some chances because now I'm attacking her. a5, and then a4. As you can see, my attack is much faster and hers. Takes, and here, taken with the a pawn gives more advantage to black, because I can use the a file. For example, if he goes here, then I can bring my knight to f4, and she cannot capture this knight due to this pin, and my knight is coming to d3. So for example, if she goes bishop e2, and now this queen is overworked, it's protecting 2 pieces, so I can capture her knight, and if she captures my knight, then I capture the pawn, and with my queen getting in, and her king is really exposed. If, for example, she plays the knight here, I can bring my rook and then try to checkmate on a1. So this did not happen, and instead here, alright, how do I get this back? Alright, so instead I took with the c pawn, bishop goes back, and I did play knight f4. It's a really nice find, and here I took her knight, she took my knight, takes, and then rook f1. She wants to capture my pawn with her rook, so I brought the knight back. She offered a bishop trade, captures, and then rook e5, and then free pawn, and then here she made a blunder. She forgot that the pawn on c3 is actually pinned, so I can win her queen for free. So queen captures queen, and here she resigned. Okay, so this game I was also black, and here I played a random move, g6, which is the modern defense, d4. So I'm attacking the center with my fianchetto bishop. So knight f6, just castle, and then strike the center with e5. Captures, knight c6. And I try to bring the knight here, and then duel my bishop. And then here I'm going to attack the center. Sorry, the side with a5, and then a4, c6. Of course, white is just better. She could have also captured this pawn, or played g5 and then f5 to attack my knights, but she went h4, h5, takes, knight takes, f4, and captures. Here she missed a really nice tactic, which is queen to d4, winning the bishop here. So she played f5, d5. Now she played queen d4, but now the bishop is protected. So queen f6. Now she gave me a free pawn. Bishop g6. And then just sidestepping any checks from this diagonal. Very important. King h7. And then king c1. Here I, of course, made a blunder. I should just bring the bishop back so that the pawn does not capture my bishop. Captures, and then capture their pawn. And here I checkmated her because she just moved the only piece that's guarding the checkmate square. So that was a bit lucky, but also if you look at the position, it's not very easy for white to play this, since, for example, my knight can come to f4, and I have 3 pawns for a knight and a very strong attack on the e file. Alright, on to the next game. So she played the Sicilian, and I played the canal attack with bishop b5, and then strike the center, just take with the queen, exchange a minor piece, and then c4, get this c4 and e4 so that the d5 square is really well protected. So she went e5, attacking the queen, so I played queen d3, and then brought the knight, brought the bishop. She attacked my my bishop, so I traded for the knight, because positionally this knight is a very important piece for black, which is controlling the d5 square. So I'm going to trade it and put my knight to d5. Castle, castle. Just maneuver, bring my knight. And then now my knight comes to c4, which is attacking the pawn here. And for example, if it's my turn, let's say, so she played this move, which is fine. But if it's my turn, after, let's say, king h8, I can take, and then, for example, just take the pawn on d6, because I attacked the rook, and if the rook moves, then her bishop would be hanging. So that was the plan there. So she played bishop b5, and now I can't really do the same thing due to this pin. So if I do this, and the knight takes, well, I lose the queen, and if queen takes, she's just gonna take my queen. Sorry, she's not gonna take the queen, she's gonna take the knight, the rook. And the point of this is remove the defender of this queen, and if the queen, let's say, takes the queen, then there's the rook takes rook. And if I take the rook, she's going to take my queen. I'm down the bishop, so that's losing. And if I play the queen, then she's going to checkmate me on f1. So that's bad. So I did not take it. I play rook fd1, just bringing more pieces to attack the pawn at d6. And f3 just consolidating, and then offering a queen trade, attacking the bishop. And then here, I could have also captured the rook. And if takes, then rook takes rook, king e7, and then just brought the, I can bring the rook back to attack the c5 pawn. And if I get a pass pawn here on the c file with the rook pair, I can be winning. But I have to be careful before I capture this pawn. I need to move my king away. So if, let's say, she moves something like this, rook takes c5 would lose to queen b6. So I would need to play like rook b1 to stop queen b6, and then take the pawn on c5. Alright, so let's go back to this. So I did not do that. I brought the queen back. She played rook d7, rook b6, and then I took, she took, I took. It's a lot of trading. And then we're in this end game where she's actually doing better than me, but it's a rook end game, so it's most likely going to be a draw. So she's got a pass pawn, and I tried to get my pass pawn with f4, and then started pushing my pawn. Here I play rook a7, just to make sure that she can't do, let's say, if I go e7, she can just give a check, sacrifice the rook to empty the pawn's promotion square, and if I take, she promotes. I move my king somewhere. If I move here, then she can give a check on a6. Let's say check, do a fork here. If I moved here, then simply queen e6 would stop the pawn. Of course, she's not going to capture this rook, since I can promote my pawn into a queen, and this is going to be equal. So that's why rook a7 is very important here. After rook a7, there's no rook f1 because I am stopping this pawn from behind. So rook b1, now I capture the pawn, rook b7, and rook e2, just supporting that e pawn, and then just simply bring my king up, and this h4 move, undermining this pawn on g5 is very important idea, because if she were to capture, I capture this pawn, and then I bring my king up, pawn up, and then king up, kick the rook out. So for example, like this, I can bring my king up, and then just rook check, and the king has to leave this d file, and then I will capture the rook on e7. So that did not happen. h4, she brought her king, and now I can capture, and then play king g4 to capture the pawn on g5. So I did capture, she captured, I captured, she captured, and I captured. And we've played more moves, so if you look at it, every move should take the opposition, and then I can push the pawn. But here I blundered because g4, after g4, king g7 is actually it's gonna be equal. It's a draw because I don't have any waiting move, and the last move she took the opposition, so I don't have any entry point with my king. So here, due to load time, I had like 2.8 seconds. I just rushed it. I should have played g3, and then after king g7, g4, so that now it seems like I took the opposition, and when she plays the king, I just have an entry point, and then I can promote my pawn. Here I just need to be careful not to, I shouldn't play g6 because then it's going to be a stalemate. Instead, I should play king g6, king g8, and then king h6. And if he plays king h8, just push the pawn and then promote it. The Blitz game, this was actually more recent. So let's go here. I was white, and let's see. Let me turn the fade back. All right. Okay, so d4. Now we get the Nemsko Indian. Queen c2. All right. How do I turn? Okay, that's fine. Bishop d2, knight f3, d5, so she's striking from the center, e3 to protect the c4 pawn with my bishop, so if she ever captures, I can capture it in one go. Okay, bishop d3, castle, b6, knight e5, bishop b7, and then f4. So the engine says it's mistake, but it's a good way to play this because like I'm the one who's attacking. So captures, and then bishop f5, rook f3. So I'm doing a rook lift. She captured, I capture with the f pawn, knight e4. So this is actually a pawn sacrifice. So I capture, she captures, I capture with the bishop, attacking her bishop so she doesn't have time to capture my pawn. I can get her bishop, and if she captures my bishop here, then after queen captures, my queen is going to protect the d4 pawn. So that's what she played, queen d7, but after, so here I should just capture and then play e4 so that I open up my bishop, and there's at some point bishop captures h6 ideas. For example, if he plays this, I can capture this, but first I can block the c file, so there's no c takes d to do a discover attack. And after, let's say he goes there, then I can bring my rook, since this f7 pawn is not protected, or probably I can capture, but it's better to prepare before we make a big sacrifice. And this rook is out of the game, so rook f1 would be pretty good. So rook f1 here, and then she captured my pawn. I captured her bishop first, so that the queen, right, if I capture this, that would be a bad move. Queen captures, and then that's going to be a fork. So I did not do that. I captured the bishop. She went d3, and after queen c6, I'm protecting the bishop, and I'm up a bishop, but I played, so this rook captures pawn, so she gave a check, king runs away, d2, and here I should just play bishop f3, so that if she promotes, I can capture her queen. Let's say she captures my bishop, and then I can capture her bishop, and I'm gonna be up a bishop in the winning endgame. So that's what I should have done, but I played e6, and I thought if she promotes to a queen, I was gonna win with very nice bishop sacrifice. So with bishop h7, king captures, and then checkmate in 2 here. So that was my plan. But I missed 2 things. First of all, I missed that she can capture the bishop and then promote the pawn. And I missed that she can promote into a knight. But she played the best move, which is rook captures bishop. And then here I had to play bishop f3 to stop promotion. So she played rook c2, and now after bishop d1, which is a great move because stops the pawn's promotion and attacks the rook. So after rook c1, now I can protect the bishop, just blockade the pawn, and my rook here on f7 is gonna be very dangerous for her. So g4, which was not the right move. Rook g3, I could have played to capture that pawn with the g rook. So I played g4, king g8, rook f3, and just making some moves because we don't really have much time on the clock, just 20 seconds. So g5, trying to break this open. And after rook e6, since there's no pawn on this diagonal anymore, I can bring my bishop to b3, which I should have done, but first I took the pawn and then brought my king there, and now I play bishop b3, and here I'm threatening so many discover checks. For example, rook takes e7 is one of them. So she played the king, and then I played rook f1. She gave a check. I moved my king. She moved her king opposition, and now her king is actually trapped. So all I need to do is just give a check with my bishop, and then she would have to like block with the rook. Of course, I can't do that when her rook is on d2. So she helped me by moving the rook to d5. And here, capturing this would win, of course, but I've played the best move, bishop c2, rook blocks, and here rook captures e7. Very nice tactic. If she captures, then bishop captures rook. And now all she has to play is rook blocks, and after bishop captures rook, this is a checkmate.